I'm live. Oh, that was quick. Just want to get my. Oh, the lighting's not too bad because I'm sitting here kind of in the dark. Ooh, I'm talking kind of low. Hopefully, you can hear me. So, it is 2 o'clock in the morning almost. It is Friday, May 8th at this point. Um, there may be some people over on the West Coast that are up at this time, or night owls like myself, or somebody across the pond. Oh, wait, what time would it be in London? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in the morning, or someplace else in the world, or just like I said, night owls. So I just wanted to pop on here because I just finished. What is that? I don't even know. Oh, oh, my sharpener, my pencil sharpener. Um, so I just finished watching season 8, episode 9. So it's next to the last episode. Oh wait, let me turn down the because I had it up here pretty bright. There we go. There we go. Oh, oh. So season 8, episode 9 of Outlander. So I liked it. I thought I was hoping it would be like 2 hours long, but it was the typical hour. So I'm guessing that the very last show won't be. Uh, I'm hoping that it'll be 2 hours long because an hour just goes by so fast with this. It was good. I liked it. They wrapped up like storylines with William and Lord John and Jamie and Richardson and Percy. Um, and then they started talking at the end about, King's Mountain and Jamie's death as according to Frank's book that he wrote back in the 60s or the 70s. Well, had to have been, well, he was probably writing it all along when Claire got back to her time. So I'm rewatching it. I just started rewatching it because last week they didn't have an episode. I was so disappointed. So I started rewatching it. I mean, there's probably some seasons that I may skip. Um, I didn't like the blackjack storyline. It was too brutal for me. Too triggering, so I can't really watch that. So I'd probably skip over that. It was I got like Rembrandt lighting in photography. It's Rembrandt lighting. But I don't know if you can see that because I have my brightness down. But yeah, it's called Rembrandt lighting. Oh, that's too bright. I mean, the screen. So, but anyway, so I'm rewatching it and I'll probably rewatch it when this is over. Hopefully, we don't have to wait too long for Blood of My Blood to come back on. I mean, it just seems like series anymore. It's so bizarre. I grew up at a time when, a show, a series, a television series. Oh, that's my yardstick. I found it the other day. I got it for probably, my art studio for something, and I haven't used it. But anyway, so so growing up watching regular series on TV and then cable when cable came out is like it was like a routine. You'd have the shows, starting in the fall, September, October, running through, and then there were breaks, and then you have the hiatus or break over the summer, and they probably would show repeats, and then you look forward to the fall season lineup. Now it's like years between seasons. And I'm thinking, did that start? I mean, I know COVID, there was a huge disruption. So like all filming had to stop, and there was so many precautions that they couldn't run some shows because of it was just too much of a disruption with the storyline, how they were going to run that. So it put shows it, it the shows either just died out, or it put the shows um like way off storyline. But I'm thinking that they started kind of doing that before COVID, like stretching out the time frames between the seasons. But now it's ridiculous. It's like years down the line. It's like, wow, you know, um, it takes so long, then you forget about the show. And then before you know it, oh, it already showed. And so then you're kind of binge watching. I think The Walking Dead, Daryl Dixon probably already started. So I won't get I won't subscribe to AMC Plus until um, until it's almost over. Then this way I could binge watch it and just get a month subscription. Also, Dead City, I don't know when that's coming out. Like, it's so weird. It's like years. So hopefully Blood of My Blood comes out right away, but I have a feeling it won't. But I'm excited because I mean, it was good. I'm not like um I haven't read the books, which I probably will do, but I haven't read the books of Outlander, and so I'll probably do that once the series is over. But I'm also not like I binged watch most of this. So rewatching it will probably be a lot of new things for me. Like some people are like so into it that they know like all these intricate storylines and details that I like, when I watch the recaps, I'm like, really? I never noticed. Like they're really like there's little Easter eggs and things and double meanings. And because the person, Diane Gabaldon, or I don't, the author of the books. Um, so I'm not that into it like that. I mean, I really love it, but I'm not that into it. Um, So when I watch the recaps and they talk about, and the hosts are talking about like all these in depth, deep little things, signs and Easter eggs and double meanings and all this, I'm like clueless, clueless. I don't have a clue of what they're talking about. Maybe I'll pick some of it up. Yeah, Gabla Gabaldon. How do you say her name? How do you say her name? Where's she from anyway? Oh, American author. Um, how do you say her name? Alexa, who wrote the books Outlander?
Diana Gabaldon wrote the book Outlander. She's an
Gabaldon.
American author who's best known for this historical fantasy series.
Where was she born? She was born in Williams, Arizona. She's a novelist and a professor. Speculative fiction. I didn't know there was such a thing. So her genre is speculative fiction, historical romance. Yeah, I got sucked right into historical romance, historical mystery, historical fantasy, scientific literature. What other books did she write? Notable works: Science Software, Quarterly, Outlander series, and Lord John series. Yeah, because the recap people on YouTube, and they do all the podcasts through all the platforms. They're talking about a possible Lord John series. Now, I like Lord John in the show. I didn't think that many people were invested in him so much so. But now I see she wrote a book. So um, she was born in Arizona. I think I read some of this. Sykes, Arizona, from Flagstaff, blah, blah, blah. Her father was of Mexican ancestry and her mother was of English descent. Cool. I think I read some stuff about um, her. She's a Roman Catholic, identifies as a libertarian. Okay. I guess I have some libertarian leanings in certain things, especially when it comes to, government overreach or their greed. Um, I was also raised a Roman Catholic. Um, Her son Sam Sykes, I did read. Why does he use a different last name? That's weird. I mean, no, it's not weird. It's just, but I think there is some scandals or something. He's also a fantasy writer, but I think there's some issues there. Sam Watkins, born Sam Watkins. Oh, okay, I got it. Oh, I know Watkins. I don't think I know those Watkins. I could, you never know. Oh, she just didn't use her. Okay, I got it. Never mind. I'm just rambling, rambles. Anyway, I'm interested in. So let's see. So, Outlander book series and The Exile, an Outlander graphic novel. That's interesting. That's interesting. That is interesting. Bouchamp, 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 Claire Bouchamp. Okay, Claire, Jamie, and Murtaugh. All right, I'll have to look into the books because I probably will. I got some of them on my Kindle, but anyway. So tonight's episode. So Lord John was kidnapped and blackmailed because he was kidnapped and blackmailed to get his brother to not give a speech to rescind any British support um, because um, by this guy Richardson, because Richardson said if he gives the speech, then the Americans are going to win, and then there's the slavery is going to continue for 600 of what 200 more years or whatever, 300 more years, hundreds of years. And so he was there trying to stop it because he was a time traveler. Claire discovered because he started talking about some stuff, and then she was like, because Jamie, I'm just jumping ahead. Jamie, Claire, and William um, came to find out because it was reported by Aramanthus or um, oh, what is her name? Amantheus, Amantheus, whatever. That Lord John was missing because he was kidnapped. Percy set it up. Anyway, so they rescued him, and then Claire was going to let Richardson go because he was going to try and find a way to change the future, but she told him you can't really change the future. And so she agreed to let him go, and then Lord John killed him. She didn't know he was going to kill him, but he stepped out of the boathouse and Lord John shot him in the head. So he's dead now. But anyway, Jamie and Lord John make up, which was sweet. They get back to Savannah, and they're playing chess, and then Williams, reconciling. Of course, he reconciled with Lord John, his father, and he also, in the previous episode, reconciled with Jamie, his biological father. And so he's coming to terms with having two fathers. And Claire said, well, I had two fathers. Um, Bree had two fathers. Your sister had two fathers. And Roger had two fathers. And everybody in this whole family had two fathers. So, deal. I mean, she didn't say it like that, but that was the spirit of what she was saying to him. And he was coming to terms with all that. But he came to terms with his father being gay. Um, and then Jamie and Claire were riding off to come back to the ridge, and William and Lord John was standing on the porch, and William was standing there. And it was a flashback from when he was 6 years old, and Jamie left him in the care of Lord John, and Jamie didn't dare turn around because then he would never have been able to leave him, and that broke William's heart. Um, and so when they were riding away, William was like, you could see William was like willing him to just turn around and look at him, and Jamie turned around and looked at him. So that kind of like closure there. I was surprised. I thought for sure that William would like say, "Wait, I'm coming with you," and jump on a horse and ride back to the ridge with him to fight in the war that's coming up in the back country. So I don't know. He still might show up, but I don't know. I thought he was going to be part of that, but it seems like maybe not. Maybe he's going to be, if there's going to be a Lord John um, spinoff, maybe William's going to be in that Lord John spinoff. Aramanthus. Oh my goodness gracious. Hang on a second. Because this is going to bother me. I can always say things in my head so easily, and then when it goes from here to here, it I can't get it out right. But come on, let me see. Show me, show me, show me, show me. But anyway, so that kind of wrapped up. That storyline kind of wrapped up. All is forgiven. Jamie and Lord John, they got back together because Lord John and Claire slept with each other because they thought Jamie was dead, and then Lord John had to save Claire's life because she was running as a spy, married each other to protect her, you know, and but now he forgave all is forgiven, not forgotten, but forgiven. And they're good friends again. But so I liked it. I enjoyed it. Um, but there's just so many other loose ends out there. Like Fanny is a time traveler because we saw that last show because she had the buzzing and the stone. So we know she's a time traveler, which makes sense if she's related to in the bloodline of Claire. I still don't think that she's the grandchild of Claire and Jamie, because then that would mean that William slept with his half niece. But whatever. I don't know where they're going with that, but they have kind of a lot to wrap up in one more episode. So I don't know how, and possibly tie in Blood of My Blood into the story. I don't know. To me, when they showed the previews last year, I swear there was a scene, and I'm going to go back and look at it, where Claire was in the field and somebody called her name, and it sounded like Henry, like her father from Blood of My Blood, because she turned to look at him. So I keep thinking that he's going to show up either through time travel or her brother, because in Blood of My Blood, Claire's mother and father went through the stones and they're there together. And she was pregnant while she traveled to the stones. She was pregnant with Claire's brother, but they ended up in 1814 ish or 17 ish, something like that. 14. Oh, no, I'm not 18, 1714. And so she gave birth to a little boy who is her brother, her full brother, but he would be older than her now. And so that means he could have had a child, a girl. So in my head, Fanny is the great niece of Claire. No relation to Jamie. So I don't know. We'll see. And maybe the brother traveled to, you know, to see her sister. Who knows? I'm thinking that makes the most sense. Not that Fanny is their grandchild, because then that means Faith, the baby that was stillborn in season, I don't even remember when, um, the early seasons. So I don't know. I mean, if you don't watch Outlander, you don't have a clue what I'm talking about. I'm just rambling about this show. I like historical romances still, apparently. I love time travel movies, shows. I just love Terminator was one of my favorite. It's still my favorite movie. I love time travel. I love fantasy sci-fi. And apparently I still like historical romances, but with the switch with the additive of the time travel, I'm like I love it. So we'll see. Hopefully, I can't even imagine. Like a lot of the people who read the books and are super fans and actually have talked to the author and I guess some of the production team, they know what's going to happen. Jamie's supposed to die, but he's not going to die because Claire has some power that she can bring him back to life, you know. And they showed a little bit of it this season. She brought a stillborn back to life. That's why they think their daughter Faith was still alive, because there's other time travelers. You know, it's magic. It's magic. It's magic. It's fantasy, sci-fi. It's all the things. Um, I, I can't even. I just don't even have a clue what the storyline's going to be. I really thought it was going to be something to tie in Blood of My Blood, but I just have a feeling it might not be. I don't know. And there's other little tiny trinkets of storylines coming through there that seem like they're maybe will be left hanging. I do know that's a lot of the book readers and also the show watchers that are just like really deep into it and get every little nook and cranny of the storylines are not super happy with what's going on. So showrunners, I could tell you that they do have a problem with continuity in their shows. I mean, I've seen it, and Walking Dead, a lot of shows do it. Like when I was doing a little bit of film, I I did write, I did do screenwriting and then some film study and all, and you have your script supervisors or continuity people to make sure that when you're shooting that there's so many breaks, but in between the breaks you got to make sure everything ties together. In other words, if the sun is out and you're in the same exact scene but you guys take a break in real life and then go back and shoot that same exact scene, continue it, the sun should be out. There is so many shows where it's like pouring raining, and then in the same exact scene, it's dry, and like it's stuff like that, continuity, which really is like some people might not notice it because sometimes it's subtle, but sometimes it's like so obvious. So they do have a little bit of um, continuity um, challenges or struggles. and that could be the showrunner too, and the editors, and they're not catching it. Um, and or they're just not listening to their script supervisors or their continuity people. They're just like, yeah, because there should be somebody there going, well, wait a minute, hold up, somebody move that glass. We got to put it right back where it's at. Up, something's wrong with the costume. Something's wrong with the actor's hair. It moved out of place. The weather changed, or it's daytime or nighttime. I've seen. I can't unsee that now because I didn't used to really pay attention to any of that, but having worked in film, that it's like, you know, glaring. I don't let it get to me, but it's glaring. It's like, dude, it was just pouring raining. Now it's like bone dry in the same exact scene. But anyway, I digress. But there was some continuity issues, some like really like weird transitions. Um, so and that has to do with the showrunners when they get new showrunners on there, or maybe new directors or whatever. But now I'm just going off into a tangent. But I did like it. I did like how they wrapped up, you know, the relationships between Jamie, William, and Lord John, who Richardson was, because I didn't remember who he was, and Percy. I mean, sometimes some of these characters, because there was such long stretches in between seasons, you forget. So it was good. I look forward to next week. I hope, and I'm sure I could look it up and find out. I hope that it's like 2 hours long, like a movie, because 1 hour is too quick. Um, but in the meantime, if because I have my subscription until August. In the meantime, I will watch the Mozart. I don't know if they're going to call it Mozart or Amadeus series that's coming up. I absolutely loved the movie Amadeus when it came out. So we'll see. That's supposed to be playing on Stars. So, because otherwise I won't watch Stars. Well, again, I'm rewatching. Um, I am rewatching the Outlanders beginning seasons. Aramanthus, that's what it is. I was looking at Aramanthus. So that's one of the characters. It's his William's cousin's wife. Turns out he was a defector. He wasn't dead. And William found him and he switched to the other side. He's not a redcoat anymore. And then she was trying to protect the baby they had. So he abandoned them. She encouraged it. Then she was trying to get William all hooked up together with her. And he's like, nah, I don't love you. But I think he slept with her. So she's probably going to be pregnant. I don't know. Um, I don't know. We'll see. But he said, I'm going to be honest with you. I don't have love for you. And you lied to me. You tricked me. You knew my cousin was a traitor. But what side is he on? Is he on America's side? Is he on the Brit side? I don't even know. It's crazy. And they all live there. This is when the colonies, this was in the 1700s. They're in 1779, maybe 1780 at this point because, time transitions. But yeah, it was good. I'm looking forward to it. What else was I going to talk about? Yeah, I kind of rested the last couple of days because I broke my toe or fractured it because this thing is not healing. So I thought, let me rest it as much as I can. But then me and Cassie went out. It was so perfect weather today. If the weather would be 45 to 65 degrees, it would be that that perfect. It's perfect weather. 45 to 65. Some days sunny, some days cloudy. I like both. But Cassie and I, whenever it's like perfect weather, we will walk along the river. Um, and she's going to be 13 here. She's like 70, and she, you know, would never know it. She's and the way she walks like she's on the catwalk, a dog on the catwalk. She could have been a show dog, but she's too neurotic. But she could, like, the way she walks and carries herself. And I took a video of her. I did a little short of her, and then I took another video of her. I might upload it, but she's she's cute when she walks. But yeah, we took a little walk. It was perfect. So then, of course, after that happened, because we probably walked a mile, which I shouldn't have done. Um, I should not have done, but I did. Let's see, which one is that? Is that the walking one? But nope, that's not what I'm doing. And so probably 2 miles. Did I do 2 miles today or yesterday? Anyway, I shouldn't have walked that because I'm trying to get this healed. I taped it together. Um, but then if I wear the tape, and I do it lightly, but if I wear it too long, then it like cuts the circulation off. I finally iced it today because I, I should have been icing it all along. That made a difference. And then I took my ibuprofen, and I took it twice. But, toes are weird. Your phalanges, they don't, you can't, you just have to rest them. I mean, I think it's definitely not a break because my toe isn't deformed. It's definitely a fracture though. So we'll see. If it doesn't change by Monday, I'm gonna go and have it looked at just in case because I'm a certain age. You don't want to have any kind of blood clotting happening and a potential. You don't want to have. You just want to get checked and make sure that you know, nothing serious can come of it. So I'll wait till Monday because that'll be 2 weeks. I know when you break your toes, it could take up to a month for it to heal, and longer if you're not like doing what you're supposed to do to heal yourself. What else? Oh, yeah. So my book club is coming up. I belong to a book club which is called the Nomad Book Club, which is perfect. And it's called Nomad Book Club because it's not at the same place. It's at a different place every week. And you can read whatever you want. You don't have to it's not one book that says here we're going to be reading this book because thank God I think everybody there has ADHD because if somebody tells us to do something, we're not going to do it. Our brains are just like freeze up and they're like, oh no, I have a deadline and no, I can't do it. So this is freedom. Like you can read whatever you want. One guy, he was funny. He was like, well, you know what I read this week? I read the instructions on how he was installing baseboard heating, which is a big deal in his house. And so I read the manual on that. And actually, it was quite helpful because I have baseboard heating and I had questions. But so last meeting, I talked about the Frederick Douglass narrative. And then I also let them know I was reading the Constitution. So I'm going to um, talk about that. And I will get back on here about it and I'm going to break it down. I'm going to probably start from the beginning a little bit and just break it down and clear it up because it was just so confusing. So, and just take it sections at a time. And then also I want to focus on this whole thing with the voting rights, what's going on with that. I want to understand that. I it's an insanity. We have an insane person. We have an insane. I mean, it's just crushing my soul, and it's just makes you feel me and others physically ill, and so like fracture. He's like we're it's like I'm telling you, I've been in abusive relationships. This man, we're in an abusive relationship with this monster. And all of us, whether you're for or against him or indifferent, we are in an abusive relationship. He is abusive. So, anyway, I don't want to go off on a tangent about he takes up enough of people's um, space and energy and time. We just got to fight the best way we got to figure it out. And, you know, it's just awful. It's just awful, the things that are happening. But what did I watch today? So I did rest. Oh, I was watching like True Crime 360, I think it is now. But it's some A&E episodes with what's his name that narrates? Bill Curtis. Uh, and so they were some of them was just repeat episodes, but they're a little bit newer. Like I think the newest episode is 2022. So they're talking about this cold case crimes that are being solved through the DNA, through the genealogy, identifying victims and all. Of course, I did watch Don Lemon. He was traveling from London, so he had Monique do guest hosting, and they were talking about the voting rights. And I just can't even. It actually makes me feel sick to my stomach. I watched The Wizard of Radical Self Respect with Jared. He had a members only. I watched that, and right now he's still on talking about Nancy Guthrie. Ooh, Phoenix. Oof, oof. Phoenix chef sentenced to death for killing his family. Oof. I think I know who that is. Yeah. Oof. Um. Oh, yeah. Well, those are rough cases. I'm looking at my feed on my phone. I did watch a little bit of Jolene Lunzer and her roasting and outing of Trisha Griffith. Bob Dylan, The Ballad of Ira footage from Tuscarora Reservation. That was, wow, back in the 60s, it looks like. Uh oh. Oh, okay. So this is just my general feed, I guess, because these are people I'm not subscribed to. The lesson I learned after 65 years, you're going to be okay. He is the sand scratcher. Hmm, interesting. Perez Hilton. He looks better, but he looks way too thin because he got sick. He got like sepsis and stuff. And then he had to have surgery. I don't know what he was doing. Hopefully, he wasn't doing the GLP or whatever, GL1, G, whatever that is to lose weight, and then he wasn't doing it correctly, and he got sick. Um, Grizzly True Crime. I do follow her. Dale Warner has been sentenced to 375 months, about 31 years and 3 months, to 60 years. So 31 to 60 years in prison on the second degree murder conviction, plus a consecutive 17 months to 10 years for tampering with evidence. This means an overall minimum of roughly 32 to 33 years with credit for time served before before parole eligibility up to a maximum of about 70 years. He received credit for 898 days already, so he's in there for life. If you don't know the Dale Warner story, of course, he murdered his wife, and then did they find? Is that the one where they found her body? I'm trying to remember. D. Warner. I don't think they found because some of these husbands, these men, they look alike. Some of these where they're killing their wives, they kind of look alike. Oof. So they So Tucson police investigating human remains. So they found human remains in Tucson. However, they believe that they are native people. Um, so they're sending it off to the university anthropology. I think that's the one that they're.
County Medical Examiner's Office responded to a wash behind a nearby apartment complex. Investigators later determined the bone was human, leading to what authorities say is now an anthropological investigation. The University of Arizona's anthropology department also responded to assist investigators at the scene. The discovery drew attention from people.
Yeah, so they think that because they have found indigenous in that area. I think because they develop these areas, and then they build right on top of the graves of um, well, part of my ancestry. And actually, my cousins were brought up on a reservation out in Arizona, not in Tucson, near Phoenix. So you know. New clues in missing boater mystery. That's the wife that who allegedly fell off her overboard off her boat. Yeah, that's off the dinghy. Um, so I don't know what the new clues are. New clues emerge in the case of missing wife who allegedly fell overboard.
A missing woman.
Surviving the survivor. Lynette Hooker. The mystery surrounding missing boater Lynette Hooker is taking another troubling turn as new clues and unanswered questions emerge about the night her husband Brian Hooker claimed she went overboard in the Bahamas. Was this truly a tragic accident at sea, or are investigators and experts beginning to uncover a much darker story? In this STS episode, criminal investigators and legal analysts break down the latest developments, the suspicious details raising eyebrows, and what these new clues could reveal about Lynette Hooker's disappearance. As the search for answers intensifies, many are asking the same chilling questions. What really happened to Lynette Hooker that night in the Bahamas? Yeah, because they're not really finding anything, and it was in an area that was so like like um would make it easy to find somebody. So I don't. And then he took off. He got out of the jail because they had him in jail for questioning. And then he said, "When I get out, I'm going to hire people, and we're going to go flying and boating and doing all the search to find my wife, my Lynette, blah blah blah." And what did he do? He jumped on the first plane out and came back to the States. So there you go. He said his mother's sick. We'll see. So I'm sure he talked about that. Sinister with Josh Zeman. He's talking about the Lisk hunting grounds. He met with some sex workers. I think he did interviews with them before. More Nancy Guthrie stuff. Um, Crime Weekly. That's with Stephanie Harlow and Derek Lavassa. I am. I do subscribe to them, but I haven't really been watching. Sometimes I watch Derek's stuff. Oh, that was 4 months ago. Oh, so here's this one guy. I mean, I don't understand it. Just get an effing divorce. Just leave. Just stop with these spouses killing each other. It's insane. Mostly men, but there are women. I don't know. The women starting to increase, and actually, probably women have been doing it longer, but they do it in different ways, like poisoning and stuff. Anyway, so this guy said that what's his name? Lee something. He said that Grizzly's covering Grizzly True Crime. She's pregnant. They have a couple of kids. He's a software something. Lee Gilly called 911. Said she's pregnant, but she died of a drug overdose. So when they did the autopsy, it takes a little bit of time to do tox, but then they determined that no, she didn't die from a drug overdose. She died from strangling. So then they arrested him for the murder, and then he was able to bail out. And this is in Texas. How do you bail out? I mean, the bail was high, $1 million, but he had $1 million, and he bailed out. I don't even know. Like, anyway, so he bails out. His trial was supposed to be on May 4th. He's got that high power, high dollar Doug Garrigo um, attorney in Houston. Like he gets people off. Garrigo, not Garagos, but the I can't. He's a high powered attorney who's gotten husbands who killed their wives off. He's an old guy, but anyway, so right before the trial, this guy cut off his ankle bracelet, made it to Canada, and then made it to Italy. And he was in Milan at the airport, and he had a fake passport and all that because they take your passport away. But he had somehow gotten a fake passport. He gets to Italy, and of course they stop him. And that's a plan because of Italy. It is against the law. The death penalty is against the law, like in most, you know, first world countries. It's except for here, it's against the law. So he gets there, and now, he has to be extradited back. But Italy, countries like that won't extradite prisoners. They won't extradite them back if they're gonna if there's the death penalty on the table, or if they even have the death penalty. So there's going to be a fight. So he's going to be in Italy for a while, unless they make a deal where they have to take death because it's a capital offense. So she was pregnant. So that's a felony. I mean, it's a capital offense. It's death. It's death penalty. So unless they say to Italy, no, we're not going to do that. But I don't know. It's going to be tough. So that was intentional. So he'll be sitting there until they figure whatever. But he's going to fight extradition. I guarantee it. And Jillian. Oh my God. Some of this stuff, I can't even read it to you. Let me anything with children or animals, I just can't. I just can't do it. Ah, it's like too much. It's all too much. It's all too much. I don't even know why I can't get out of that. Anyway, so I think I'm going to upload the other um, video of me and Cassie walk. Well, just mostly Cassie doing her strut, doing her um, doing her, what is it called again? Her catwalk. She's funny. But anyway, I was happy that Outlander was on tonight. I was a little nervous. I was like, oh no, please don't delay it another week. But it was on. That says how much of a life I have when I get so excited that a show I'm watching is on. I got a busy weekend coming up. It's like weekends are not for rest. Weekends are busy. During the week is for rest. And then that's why I get confused on what day it is. Every day feels like a Saturday, except for Saturday and Sunday and Friday. We got some, and our group that we have, our biker group that we have, that we're helping out the local bikers for children and families and stuff. So we're doing some stuff for that tomorrow. Um, so I'll be busy this weekend. I'm already tired. I didn't even do the last 2 days. I'm like tired thinking about tomorrow. It could be too because I'm drinking my. This one is lavender chamomile. Usually I do my honey and vanilla chamomile, and I found this, the Bigelow. Oh, oh, let's see if I can get it. There we go. It's Bigelow lavender chamomile plus probiotics. It's really good. It's not overpowering at all. It's really good. Plus, I have a little bit of my honey in there. I'll tell you what. Now, I haven't drank in 9 years, but my cousin and I, I've gone to a couple wineries. My cousin and I went to a winery near her house, and they made lavender wine. And it was, I don't know how many bottles of it I bought. It was like out of this world. It was great. It was great. But I gave up drinking, so no more lavender wine for me. I wasn't really, well, I used to be a wine, and then I didn't like wine, then beer, but yeah, I just gave up drinking. And then in 1 week, which I haven't, like, I lost count of, I lost count, so that's a good thing. It will be, I mean, it will be on May 16th, it will be 10 years since I quit smoking. It's been about 9 years since I quit drinking, but I don't remember exactly when I quit. I think my cousin and I drank wine. We went out to the local restaurant or whatever and drank wine. And I woke up and I felt so sick. And I'm like, I'm not doing that anymore. So I was really too old. Um, anyway, so I think that's it. I don't think. Oh, they're still looking for Kristen Smart. They served a new search warrant Wednesday at the home of Susan Flores. That's the mother of Paul Flores, who was convicted of killing her. Authorities used ground penetrating radar, but I think they searched that house already. Soil testing of a neighboring property. The search aims to locate Kristen Smart nearly 30 years after her disappearance from Cal Poly campus. So they're saying that Paul Flores is the one who kidnapped her, killed her, and his parents pretty much helped hide her body. So, I don't know. I hope so. And every day there are cold cases being solved. Every day. If you just look at the news, um, you know, your news timeline or YouTube timeline. I don't know about Facebook or Instagram. I'm not on there, or Twitter. Um, but every time I open, so right here it says partial remains found at a dump site identified over 30 years ago. Later, now investigators are asking for your. So this is People Magazine. Partial remains found at dump site identified over 30 years later. Now investigators are asking for the public's help. Any detail, no matter how small, could be the key to bringing answers and closure to this case. The Ventura County Sheriff's Office said in a statement. So who is it? Human remains found in 1993 in Ventura County, California, have been identified as Joseph Patrick Reardon. The Ventura County Sheriff's Department went on to say that despite this milestone, critical details surrounding Mr. Reardon's life and whereabouts remain unknown. Authorities have identified human remains over 3 decades after they were discovered. The partial remains of Camarillo teen. Just repeating it. They were able to determine that the lower leg bones they found belonged to a male between the ages of 13 and 18, but that was as much as they were able to determine until now. So last year they discovered through Othrams, because Othrams has a YouTube channel. I watched a story about a missing girl from Indiana was found in Tennessee in 1985, and they finally identified her. So she was kidnapped from a mall in Indiana. So she was 15, and I guess she was a good, quiet girl, shy, and she went to the mall like teenagers did in the 80s. And a group of men, the last time somebody saw her, she was getting into a car with a group of older guys. So she could have been, she went missing in 1978. They found partial remains in a dump site in the small town in Tennessee. In the woods, a hunter found the skull in 1985. So either she was there for the 7 years, um, you know, or she was trafficked for a little while and then put there. But so they identified her. Unfortunately, her parents passed away, but her brother is still alive. So that was on Othram's site today. But if you're interested in cold cases, and they're new, they started their YouTube channel. I would just type in Othram. I don't know the name of their YouTube channel. I don't think it's Othrams. It's called something else. So Othram is OTHRAM Labs. You just type it into YouTube or even Google, it'll show it. But so they're solving a lot of classes, and hopefully it's legit, because sometimes, like the wife, she reminds me of a CC Moore wannabe, because CC Moore had a very particular hairstyle and a very particular cadence, the way she spoke, and it feels like the wife of the owner of the lab, well, she owns it too, is like copying her. And then the husband, he's reminds me, so I'm getting the Dropout vibes. Elizabeth, what was her name? I'm just getting those kind of vibes from them. So I hope it's legit. I mean, I don't see how they could really fake that. I don't know. But Elizabeth Holmes. So I'm getting a little bit of Elizabeth Holmes vibes from them. I don't know. I can't put my finger on it. definitely getting like she's totally copying Cece Moore, who actually is one of the kind of uh, not founders, but kind of like on the ground break breakthrough people of this. So I don't know. Like I said, hopefully it's not shady stuff. So Joseph Peck, also known as Joe Gilbreth. So I mean, they're finding people that have been missing for 50, 60, identifying people 50, 60 years, but the work's not done. They need um, more information about Mr. Reardon's life. They're not really saying how old or anything. But anyway, yeah, every day, a new case has been solved, not solved, identified. So a person's been either missing remains that have been found have been identified, or they have arrested somebody. Like somebody just got arrested. Yeah. So um, yeah, my little crown is slipping off my head. Whatever this thing is called. I like it though. It doesn't give me a headache. It just slips a little bit. My crown is slipping. Oh, why do they have? Oh, okay. Oof. Okay. Saying goodbye. Say goodbye to the Panama Canal. A new ocean to ocean route just shipped 900 vehicles in just 72 hours. Okay. Oh, Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni have settled their legal battle. That was a couple days ago. Lively seeks legal fee payout. Oh, so it was settled in her favor? I don't know. Who knows with these two? Nicole Kidman about the Met Gala. Democrats are investigating the felons' pardons. Um, Obama. Oh, oof, some people in this. Okay. I just am curious about, like, why is she seeking? Oh, is it a video? Oh, anyway, I don't really care about them because that's just rich, privileged. Yeah, whatever. You know, share the wealth. So I think that's it. It's almost 3 o'clock in the morning and I'm still up. And tomorrow I got to do stuff and I'm going to be tired because I stayed up late again. But we get to sleep in though, me and Cassie, because Cassie had her little last walk. So then we get to sleep in. So, but anyway, I think I'm going to upload the rest of the little, not the rest of, just another little short of her walking. She's so cute. All right. Well, good night. Thanks for stopping by. And I will see you next time. And next time I come on, I will be talking about the Constitution. And I'm going to have to do it in such an organized way so I can understand what I'm talking about and make it clear and get it in layman's term. So I might have to do like prep, like take a section of it, read it to myself, and then do a presentation of it in layman's term, in understandable terms, and then do it that way. Because I also want to talk about it when I go to book club on Wednesday, because there's retired teachers and librarians who are like in the club, and current librarians. So I would like to discuss it a little bit to see how people like, because like I everybody I asked at the group, they were just like, no, we haven't read it. One was like me, like, yeah, I kind of vaguely remember studying it at school, but yeah, we really need to know the Constitution, because how are we gonna stand up for ourselves, because they're just plowing it down, just plowing it down. So we got to figure it out. There's constitutional lawyers out there, but I mean, this is getting like out of control, like like crazy town. Like I feel like I'm in a really scary episode of the Twilight Zone. Me personally, and I'm sure, and it's not just about me. I'm sure other people are feeling that too. Like we're in the worst possible episode of the Twilight Zone. Anyway, gonna go. But thanks for stopping by. I will see you next time. Have a good night.